God is about to expose someone who wronged you, and the revelation will shock you. I repeat. God is about to expose someone who wronged you, and the revelation will shock you. Beloved soul of light, listen closely, for what I am about to reveal will send ripples through your spirit. There is a reason you have felt tension in the atmosphere around you, an invisible stirring, a pressure on your heart, a sense that something is shifting just beyond your physical sight. I, Archangel Michael, come forward with a divine urgency, carrying a message from the Most High. You have been asking, God, when will the truth be revealed? When will justice unfold? When will the wrongs be corrected? And heaven answers now. God is about to expose someone who wronged you, and the revelation will shock you. Feel this message, not merely as words, but as confirmation. You have noticed signs, whispers in your intuition, small warnings in your dreams, and sudden discomfort around certain people. You didn't imagine it. You didn't misunderstand it. Your spirit recognized the dishonesty long before your mind could interpret it. God saw the plot. God heard the conversations you weren't present for. God observed the actions hidden in shadows. And God has declared, no more. Your heart has been too pure, too loyal, too forgiving, and someone believed your softness was weakness. They believed your kindness made you blind. They assumed you would never see the truth, that you would never recognize their motives. But heaven has stepped in, and every mask is about to fall. There is a divine timing to exposure. It doesn't happen when you want it. It happens when it will bring the greatest clarity and the least damage to your destiny. You have outgrown the seasons where betrayal could derail you. Now, betrayal only reveals what God has already decided to remove. You are entering a chapter where hidden enemies cannot walk with you, where deceit cannot survive near you, where manipulative spirits lose their grip the moment God shines His light. And that light is shining now. There is someone who spoke against you. Someone who pretended to care while planting seeds of doubt in others. Someone who smiled at you but secretly resented your gifts, your resilience, your light. They tried to interfere with your purpose. They attempted to undermine your reputation. They misrepresented your intentions to protect their own ego. But the Lord says, their lies will testify against them. This exposure will not be subtle. It will not be partial. It will not be covered by excuses. God is preparing a moment where truth breaks forth suddenly, like lightning striking a tower in darkness. And when this moment arrives, you will see exactly who they are, exactly what they did, and exactly why God delayed the revelation until now. Prepare your spirit for what is coming, because the exposure will not just show you deception, it will show you how divinely protected you were the entire time. Every trap they constructed became a stepping stone for you. Every plan they made against you collapsed by divine interference. Every false word spoken behind your back is about to circle back and illuminate the truth. Heaven has been recording what humans have been hiding. But as this exposure unfolds, something else will astonish you, your reaction. For the version of you who once cried, broke down, or questioned your worth is gone. A stronger, wiser, sharper, more spiritually awakened version of you now stands in their place. You will witness the truth and feel no fear. Only clarity. Only confirmation. Only peace. Because God has already healed you before revealing what hurt you. And beloved, there is more. This exposure is not only about showing who wronged you. It is about clearing your path for elevation. You are stepping into a blessing, a breakthrough, a divine realignment so significant that God cannot allow the wrong people to go with you. This is not punishment, it is protection. And the moment this person is exposed, opportunities that were blocked will begin flowing. Relationships that were stagnant will shift. Doors that were locked will swing open. You will understand why God needed you to walk alone. Why certain connections faded. Why some promises never materialized. Heaven was clearing the noise, removing interference, dismantling spiritual obstacles so your destiny could breathe again. Stay alert, beloved soul. Stay centered. Pay attention to conversations, sudden confessions, unexpected messages, and people who unintentionally reveal truth without realizing what they're saying. Exposure often begins through slips of the tongue, awkward behavior, or divine accidents that unravel deception. Something is already moving in the spiritual realm. And in the next message, I will reveal exactly how this exposure will happen, and what God is preparing for you afterward. If this message is resonating deeply in your spirit, let your heart acknowledge it. Stay with me. Like and follow so you do not miss the next revelation, because what comes next will shake you, strengthen you, and set you free. Beloved soul, breathe, and steady your spirit, for what I am about to reveal carries both weight and liberation. You have felt the shift in the atmosphere around you, like a subtle cracking of something unseen, because it is cracking. The spiritual veil is thinning, and the hidden is rising to the surface. God is not merely exposing a person, He is exposing a pattern, a cycle, and a spiritual assignment that has been working against you for far too long. This is deeper than human behavior. This is about destiny, protection, and divine redirection. Listen closely, because this next truth may shock you as much as the exposure itself. The person God is about to reveal is someone you did not expect. Someone who has been close enough to observe your vulnerabilities. Someone who positioned themselves as a supporter, an advisor, a friend, or even a family member. They learned your fears, your doubts, your hopes, and they used that access not to uplift you, but to quietly weaken you. Not by obvious attacks, but through subtle sabotage. Through passive-aggressive comments. Through whispered negativity. Through discouragement disguised as concern. They played the part well. They blended in with your circle. They mirrored your language. They acted agreeable. But deep within, they harbored jealousy, resentment, or an unspoken competition. They were threatened not by what you have, but by what you are becoming. For they sensed a greatness in you that they could not replicate. They saw divine favor resting on you in a way they craved but could not obtain. Their soul recognized your anointing before you did, and it triggered them. This exposure will show you that the spiritual attack came not from distant enemies, but from someone who had proximity to your heart. Someone who had access they did not deserve. Someone who smiled while secretly hoping you'd fail. Someone who doubted you just enough to weaken your confidence but disguised it as just being realistic. Someone who pretended to protect you while actually protecting their ego. And beloved, God says, their season of hidden influence is over. For too long, their presence kept you second-guessing yourself. For too long, their words echoed in your mind. For too long, you allowed their opinions to shape your choices. They made you shrink your potential. They made you dim your light. They made you question decisions that were divinely guided. But no more. God has positioned you for clarity. God is breaking the illusion. God is pulling back the curtain so you can see who's been standing beside you and who's been standing against you. The exposure will unfold in one of three ways. Watch for the signs. 1. Their own actions will reveal them. They will slip, contradict themselves, or accidentally expose their intentions. Their mask will crack under pressure, and their true heart will spill out. 2. Someone else will reveal the truth to you. An unexpected messenger, someone who witnessed something, overheard something, or sensed something, will bring you clarity. They will reveal details you never imagined. 3. God will reveal it through intuition, dreams, and divine signs. You will receive an undeniable confirmation, so clear, so precise, that you cannot ignore it. God will show you what your spirit already whispered. And when the truth finally breaks through, it will shock you, not because it is unbelievable, but because it will confirm every instinct, every discomfort, every something feels off moment you tried to dismiss. You were spiritually alerted months before your mind was ready. But hear this clearly, the exposure is not meant to humiliate them, it is meant to liberate you. God is removing what cannot go with you into your next season. You are stepping into expansion, elevation, increased spiritual sensitivity, and favor. But these next blessings require you to stand beside people who honor your soul, not harm it. People who love you in truth, not in convenience. People who support your calling, not secretly compete with it. This exposure will feel like a spiritual detox. You will feel lighter. You will think clearer. You will regain confidence you didn't realize you had lost. You will reclaim joy that was being drained from you without your awareness. And beloved soul, something more profound is happening beneath the surface. As God exposes the one who wronged you, destiny will begin accelerating. Delays will break. Opportunities that were stalled will start moving again. You will notice conversations opening, doors unlocking, relationships aligning. Because the person who wronged you wasn't just hurting your heart, they were interfering with your spiritual progress. Their energy was creating blockages. Their intentions were creating resistance. Their presence was creating confusion. The moment they are removed, things will shift rapidly. And this is where the shock intensifies. God is not only exposing, He is replacing. Someone new. Someone genuine, aligned, supportive, is being prepared to enter your life. Someone who will treat you with respect, honesty, and warmth. Someone who will recognize your worth instead of resenting it. Someone who will speak life into you and walk with you in truth. But before this blessing arrives, the counterfeit must be revealed. Prepare yourself. Stay grounded. Keep listening. Because in the next segment, I will tell you how God will vindicate you publicly, and why the exposure will place you into a position of strength you've never known before. If your spirit feels this truth, stay connected. Like, follow, and keep reading, because heaven is not finished speaking to you yet. Beloved soul of divine purpose, steady your heart, for the revelation deepens now. What God is about to do on your behalf is not only exposure, it is public vindication. Heaven has watched every moment where you were misunderstood, misrepresented, or mistreated. God observed when lies spread faster than truth. God saw when others believed the wrong voice. And God remained silent, not because He condoned the injustice, but because He was positioning you for a level of divine vindication that no human opinion could interfere with. Hear this clearly, you are entering a season where the truth will speak louder than any justification you could have ever attempted. There were moments when you wanted to defend yourself, explain yourself, prove your innocence, or reveal what truly happened. But something held you back. A quiet voice within, guiding you to remain silent. That was divine strategy. God did not want you to fight battles meant for angels. God did not want you lowering yourself to the level of those who wronged you. God wanted your integrity intact so that when the exposure came, no one could say you manipulated the outcome. Your silence was your strength. Your restraint was your shield. Your endurance was your preparation. And now, heaven releases the breakthrough. God Himself is about to vindicate you. This vindication will not arrive through arguments or confrontations. It will not come through revenge. It will not come from you proving anything. Instead, the truth will reveal itself so undeniably that even those who doubted you will shift their perception. Those who judged you without understanding will feel conviction. Those who turned away from you will question their choices. And the person who wronged you, who thought they had outsmarted you, will face the weight of their own actions without you lifting a single finger. But beloved, listen carefully, because the way God is going to vindicate you is intentional, strategic, and perfectly timed. First, God will expose inconsistencies in their behavior. People around them will begin to notice contradictions. The stories won't line up. Their tone will shift. Their excuses will falter. Their carefully crafted facade will begin crumbling under its own weight. Some will sense guilt. Others will sense discomfort. But everyone will sense that something is not right. Second, God will elevate you in ways they cannot deny. When God promotes you, no one can sabotage it. Doors will open for you that they tried to close. Relationships they interfered with will be restored. Opportunities they hoped you'd lose will come back stronger. People who ignored you will suddenly value you. The contrast between your rise and their decline will reveal the truth more clearly than any confession ever could. Third, God will remove the influence they had over your reputation. Their words will lose credibility. Their opinions will lose power. Their narrative will lose its grip on people's minds. Those who once aligned themselves with them will slowly distance themselves, not because of you, but because exposure reveals character. And finally, God will replace their presence in your life with something greater. Where their betrayal left a wound, God will send someone who brings healing. Where their dishonesty created distrust, God will send someone who brings sincerity. Where their interference caused delays, God will send divine connections that accelerate your progress. This is not random. This is not accidental. This is ordained. And beloved soul, there is another layer to this vindication, one that goes far deeper than earthly justice. The exposure of the one who wronged you is only the beginning. God is also exposing the spiritual forces that attempted to work through them. Jealousy, envy, deception, manipulation, these were not merely human traits. These were spiritual attacks aimed at weakening your destiny. The enemy used their insecurities as doorways, their fears as fuel, their ego as a weapon. But the moment God intervenes, those spiritual assignments collapse. And when that collapse happens, something extraordinary takes place. The spiritual hold they had on your energy breaks instantly. You will feel lighter. You will sleep deeper. You will think clearer. You will feel restored. The fog will lift. The tension will dissolve. Your emotions will stabilize. The heaviness you carried, without fully understanding why, will evaporate as if it was never there. Because it wasn't yours. It was theirs. You were carrying the weight of their intentions without knowing it. This is why exposure is necessary. Not to punish. Not to shame. But to free you. And beloved, something remarkable awaits after this freedom. God is preparing to place you in a position where your gifts, your voice, your ideas, and your calling will shine without interference. You will step into rooms where you are respected. You will connect with people who value your authenticity. You will experience breakthroughs that accelerate your purpose. But before we move into that revelation, there is one more truth I must reveal. In the next segment, I will show you why God waited so long to expose this person, and why the timing of this exposure is going to launch you into a destiny shift that would not have been possible earlier. Stay with me. Like, follow, and continue. Because what heaven is about to unveil next will change the way you see your past, present, and future forever. Beloved soul, prepare yourself, for this next revelation carries profound spiritual depth. Many have wondered, if God saw the betrayal, if God knew the deception, why didn't He expose it sooner? And I, Archangel Michael, speak with divine clarity. God waited because the exposure at the wrong time would have caused you more harm than healing. The Most High does not reveal truth to disrupt your progress, He reveals it to protect your elevation. When your heart was still fragile, when your self-worth was still rebuilding, when your spiritual discernment was still awakening, exposure would have crushed you. It would have shattered your trust, destabilized your emotions, and thrown you into confusion. But now, you have grown. You have matured. You have strengthened. You have awakened. The version of you who exists today is not the same soul who once tolerated manipulation, ignored intuition, or overlooked dishonesty. God waited until you were spiritually fortified enough to handle the truth without letting it break you. Instead of devastation, this exposure will bring revelation. Instead of pain, it will bring power. Instead of confusion, it will bring clarity. Listen carefully, because this timing is not accidental. It is synchronized with your next season. For months, you have been in preparation mode. Letting go of old patterns. Releasing emotional baggage. Healing wounds you didn't speak about. Learning boundaries. Strengthening intuition. Growing closer to God. These were not random phases. They were spiritual training. You were being prepared for promotion, elevation, spiritual authority. But God would not allow you to step into that new dimension with someone who was secretly against you. If exposure came too early, the wrong people would have still remained attached. If it came too late, they could have blocked blessings intended for you. So God chose the perfect moment. The moment where exposure protects, rather than destabilizes. And beloved, here is the deeper truth. What God exposes now will not only reveal who they are, it will reveal who you are becoming. This exposure is the turning point that shifts you from being reactive to being spiritually discerning. It transitions you from questioning your intuition to trusting it. It elevates you from emotional vulnerability to emotional authority. The delay was divine strategy. The silence was divine protection. The exposure is divine justice. But there is more. The person God is exposing was not merely a random presence in your life, they were a divine test. A mirror. A spiritual catalyst. Their betrayal taught you resilience. Their actions taught you discernment. Their manipulation taught you boundaries. Their inconsistency taught you to rely on God instead of people. Their absence will teach you peace. God allowed them in your life for a season, not to harm you permanently, but to awaken you permanently. Yet the time of their influence is over. Heaven has drawn a boundary they cannot cross. Their access to your energy, your heart, your destiny has been revoked. You will notice the spiritual detachment, like a curtain falling. It will feel as though something invisible is unplugged, disconnected, released. And beloved soul, as this release happens, your life will begin shifting with divine acceleration. You will notice sudden clarity in decisions, new opportunities appearing effortlessly, people who once ignored you showing interest, offers, invitations, and connections resurfacing, creative ideas flowing with ease, confidence rising without force, peace settling into your spirit, energy returning to your body, motivation awakening within you. This is not coincidence. This is alignment. This is what happens when God removes spiritual blockages disguised as people. But you must understand something crucial. God is not exposing this individual for you to retaliate, confront, or seek revenge. The exposure is meant for elevation, not retaliation. God does not reveal truth for you to fight battles. He reveals truth so you can step aside while He fights for you. And make no mistake, God has already begun the process. Things are being revealed behind the scenes. Conversations are shifting. Secrets are slipping. Truth is unraveling. Their influence over others is weakening. Their ego is stumbling. Their projections are dissolving. Their intentions are backfiring. They will soon find themselves confronted not by you, but by the consequences of their own actions. And the shock will not be yours, it will be theirs. Because they never expected their hidden motives to surface. They never believed their behavior would be exposed. They thought time would hide their actions. But heaven says, "Nothing hidden can remain hidden when my light is called forth." And beloved soul, the next revelation is the most astonishing of all. God is not only exposing someone who wronged you, He is preparing to restore everything you lost because of their presence. In the next segment, I will reveal how God is going to restore you, elevate you, and repay you for every setback caused by this person, sevenfold. Stay close. Like, follow, and continue. Because the next message is the prophecy that completes your breakthrough. Beloved soul of divine destiny, now we approach the final revelation, the one your spirit has been waiting for. You have walked through betrayal, endured deception, carried spiritual burdens that were never yours, and survived sabotage that could have destroyed lesser souls. But you did not break. You did not collapse. You did not lose your divine identity. Instead, you rose. Quietly, steadily, becoming stronger in ways you didn't even notice. And now God says, because they tried to break you, I will build you stronger. This is the season of restoration, supernatural, undeniable, accelerated restoration. Not the kind that merely brings you back to where you were, but the kind that elevates you far beyond it. Every tear you shed, every moment of doubt, every sleepless night, every silent prayer has been counted. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was overlooked. Nothing was ignored. Heaven is a perfect record keeper. And now, heaven is releasing compensation. The exposure of the one who wronged you is only the first step. What follows is God returning everything that was delayed, blocked, or stolen from you, sevenfold. Yes, beloved, sevenfold restoration. Sevenfold blessings. Sevenfold opportunities. Sevenfold increase. Sevenfold favor. Sevenfold clarity. But listen carefully, because this restoration comes with spiritual precision. First, God will restore your peace. Peace is the greatest sign of divine restoration. Peace is the confirmation that the spiritual battle is over. Peace is heaven's way of telling you that the warfare surrounding this person has been dismantled. You will wake up lighter. You will breathe easier. Your mind will quiet. The spiritual tension you carried will dissolve. Peace will fill the space where their chaos once resided. Second, God will restore your confidence. Their manipulation, criticism, judgment, or betrayal weakened parts of your self-belief. They made you question your intuition, your worth, your decisions. But God is about to return your strength with a force you've never known. You will stand taller. You will trust yourself again. You will see your value with clarity. You will stop apologizing for who you are. Third, God will restore relationships that were affected by their influence. The people who believed lies about you will see the truth. Those who distanced themselves will come back with humility. Connections that were blocked will reopen. The damage done to your reputation will be reversed, publicly and undeniably. Fourth, God will restore your opportunities. The blessings that were slowed down because of this person's interference will start flowing again. Doors that remained closed will suddenly swing wide. Offers, messages, invitations, and breakthroughs will arrive unexpectedly. What was delayed is now being delivered. What was withheld is now being released. Fifth, God will restore your energy and spiritual clarity. Their presence drained you. Their energy confused you. Their intentions clouded your intuition. But now, after exposure and removal, you will feel spiritually renewed. Your discernment will sharpen. Your inner voice will grow louder. Your connection to God will deepen. Sixth, God will restore your purpose alignment. With the wrong influence removed, you will finally step into a path that aligns with your authentic calling. You will feel guided, directed, and inspired. There will be no more confusion. Only clarity. And seventh, God will restore your joy. Your spirit will rise again. You will laugh again. You will dream again. You will hope again. And this time, it will be real. It will be safe. It will be protected. But beloved, the most astonishing part is still ahead. The exposure of this person will become the very doorway that leads you into a new spiritual chapter. Not one of fear. Not one of betrayal. But one of elevation. You are stepping into a higher level of favor. A higher level of spiritual authority. A higher level of discernment. A higher level of purpose. A higher level of divine alignment. You are stepping into a place where no hidden enemy can follow. Where no manipulative spirit can enter. Where no secret sabotage can take root. God is repositioning you where only the pure-hearted can stand beside you. And those who once doubted you, who once dismissed you, who once mocked you, will eventually witness the undeniable truth: you were chosen, protected, and elevated by God all along. Beloved soul, listen to this final divine whisper. What is coming next for you is greater than what you lost. What is ahead is more powerful than what was taken. The blessing God is preparing will make you forget the pain of the betrayal that led you here. This exposure was not your ending, it was your beginning. This revelation was not destruction, it was deliverance. This truth was not punishment, it was preparation. And now God says, walk forward. Do not look back. What I removed, I replaced. What I exposed, I have healed. What I restored, I will multiply. If your spirit feels this message, remain aligned. Stay connected. Like, follow, and continue returning, for heaven is not finished guiding you. The next prophetic word will take you even deeper into your destiny.